Guys, are you still stuffing your pants? Are you still stuffing your pants with everything that you need to carry around when you're out and about? Well, stop. It's probably the easiest way to ruin your style in the silhouette that you're going for, especially when you paid so much money for that salvage denim pants that you want to rock. That's when carrying a bag comes in. I've got a few bags in my collection that we can go through in this video, but first I want to address that maybe some of you think that carrying a bag is too girly. Well, ultimately that is for you to resolve and get over with. I think nowadays people have accepted this adaptation into men's styling. Besides, if you don't want to look too girly, then pick a bag that doesn't look too feminine. I personally like to inject a little bit of feminine energy into my style. I think the juxtaposition and contrast makes the overall look a little bit more interesting. Here's a general tip that I like to think about when I'm out and about and I'm rocking something that I don't quite feel confident in yet, be it a piece of clothing or accessory or whatever. And that is, people are too distracted and preoccupied with what they need to deal with to even pay attention to or remember you. So don't let that get in the way of you benefiting, making your life easy, even enhancing the look that you're going for by, say, carrying a bag. Now, before we get into the bags, a quick word about jackets and coats. This is exactly why I love chore coats and chore jackets. And if you haven't seen the video, I'll link it down below. But they are great for carrying the stuff that you need to a certain point. But the same principle applies. Don't overstuff the pockets to the point that it ruins the whole look that you're going for. Just as an insight, I usually carry these items when I'm out and about. Even without carrying a laptop, I also usually carry cell phone, keys, portable charger, small alcohol spray, my iPad mini and Kindle, spare canvas tote, gum, maybe an action camera, and charging cables. Now these are organized using the pouches that I have from Delphonics, DJI pouch, and Peak Design. Now finally, let's go through my bag collection. First up are the two Zara bags. Now these two have been my go-to lately, mainly because I just got them and I want to test and see if they're up to the task. And so far, they have been. Granted, I think they still are a little overpriced, I think, coming from Zara. But with the use that I'm getting out of them, they might still prove to be pretty decent purchases. Now, these two bags are probably what most people would say are the girliest bags that I have, but I don't care. I like them. The first of the Zara bags is the leather shoulder bag. Now this I got for 300 bucks, full price. It's made out of 100% sheepskin, which I love because it's got really, really soft leather, as you can see here. But also, I hate that because it's also not the toughest of leather. As you can see, there's already kind of like some gouges and scratches on it. I'm usually really, really rough with my things. And this one, I have to consciously think of babying because it's not the most durable of leathers. But what I like about it as well is that it could take the shape of whatever you put in it. It's got a pocket that has a zipper. You can carry your accessories or whatever, but yep, one zipper pocket there and then two open pockets here as well. But otherwise, it's just open inside and use it to carry whatever you need. Now the second Zara bag that I have is the leather tote bag. Now this one is made out of 100% Napa cow leather. It's a little tougher leather, and compared to the shoulder bag, I can treat this tote bag a little rougher. I could be a little bit more rough with kind of like how I use it. The leather is tougher and more durable. And I took it up to LA the other day when I took the train, and it held up great. I carried my laptop, my chargers, and water bottle and other things, and it did well. It doesn't have a zipper. You have two magnetic magnets to kind of close the tote bag up. It does have a kind of like a pouch inside there, but also a zipper pocket inside as well. I love it because you can carry a lot of stuff in it. It does well doing that. What I don't like about it aesthetically is that it's got this kind of like flat bottom to it. I think in between the leather and the lining is a cardboard sandwich in between to kind of like make that flat part, you know, the bottom part. I don't like it aesthetically, but functionality wise, it's great. You can set this down and it'll just stay standing up. So yeah, aesthetically, I'm not psyched about it, but functionality wise, it's great. This is probably what most people would say is the girliest bag that I own, but again, I don't care because I like using it. But as I mentioned, those bags are fairly open layout. There's not much organization within the bags themselves, so you need to provide your own organization. Again, this is where these things come in, these little pouches. So these just makes your life a little less stressful because you know where things are and where they need to go. Yeah, utilize these things. They come in handy. Now next up is my Royal Republic leather messenger bag. Now for those of you who've seen the Buy It for Life video, you're familiar with this bag. It's one of my picks for my Buy It for Life pieces. This is probably the toughest bag that I own. I've owned this for about 11 years. I got it from Iceland in 2014 and it's still going strong. It's made out of real quality leather that is just, you know, getting better with time. But if you want to learn more about this bag, watch that other video after you watch this one. Next up are tote bags, particularly canvas tote bags, but I got other types as well. Now these are probably my most used type of bags in the last few years because they're just so versatile. Now I use them for grocery shopping, hauling gear, or just bringing stuff with me to a cafe when I need to work outside. But I got a few of them, so let's check them out. So when I was visiting London a few years ago, I picked one up from kind of like, I think they're Barnes & Noble over there, but it's called Waterstones. And this one I picked up from the Piccadilly Circus location or branch. And then my niece who lives in London gifted me this gray one. Also has a cool drawing in it of kind of like London monuments and places. But yeah, these two have kind of like been my go-to for grocery shopping as well. I think they're kind of expensive though. I think these are like 15 pounds, which is about like $18 roughly, I think. But yeah, still love them though. Really cool bags. And you won't see them a lot here in the States, so. Now this tote was a gift from a friend of mine a few years ago. He knows that I love the character Shin-chan, so he gifted this to me during my birthday. But yeah, I love this one. I love how colorful it is, and it's got Shin-chan in it. Now this is a Carhartt tote. Pretty solid bag, really well made. But the only thing with this is that it doesn't really carry as much. And I think that's why it gets overlooked amongst the other bags that I own. But in of itself, it's a very solid bag. You won't be disappointed. And I think it's priced fairly. But yeah, that's that. Now, similar vein as the Carhartt bag, I have a tote bag from Chrome that kind of gets overlooked nowadays. But I got this one for cheap, as in like less than 20 bucks when they had a sale on the Chrome website. So I couldn't pass it up. I mean, this in itself is a really solid bag. You can either use it as a tote, but also as a backpack. I took it to a trip with me to the Philippines and it held up well carrying my stuff. It's got a lot of cool organizations in the bag itself. But when I got on a boat where seawater could splash up, I kind of got concerned and thought that I need a bag that is more waterproof. And that's when the Rains waterproof bag comes in. Now, this is the Rains weatherproof tote bag. As you can see, it's got waterproof zippers to keep the water out of your things. When I got this one, I thought it was way bigger than I thought it would be, so I might actually pick up the smaller version. But if I'd be honest, it hasn't been tested for real yet because it hardly rains here in SoCal, so the real test might have to be in the Philippines where it rains more and there's more chances, you know, kind of like getting on a boat and getting splashed on by seawater. I also got this leather tote bag from Amazon. I think it's just a no-name brand. I think this is made from Pakistan or India, but I got this for about 50 bucks, 60 bucks, fairly cheap. But when I got it, the leather was kind of dry, so I rubbed tokenol on it to condition it and kind of like bring a little shine to the leather. Yeah, pretty solid bag, pretty well made, good for carrying a bunch of stuff like groceries. I added this bandana on it, kind of give it a little bit more pizzazz, but otherwise pretty solid bag. If you want to check it out, I'll link it down below. But if you have me pick what is the best bang for your buck in terms of tote bags, it's the one that you can get for $3.75 from Trader Joe's. Now, if you're not from the US, Trader Joe's is a grocery store that we have here. You can get a bunch of really great stuff from them. Not sponsored. But this one cost $3.75. I picked the original canvas bag that I got from them when I was in Nevada. I've always thought that they go for like 15, 20 bucks. But when I saw that they go for only $3.75, I was like, yeah, I'll pick one up. I brought that bag into the Philippines because it was just, a really handy bag to have. And my niece, who I mentioned, who lives in London, asked if she could have my Trader Joe's bag. I was like, sure, happily gave it to her. She was very happy to get it, kind of weirdly happy, not really sure why, until I saw this article saying that in London, these bags have become kind of like a trendy, fashionable item to have. I wasn't really getting it yet until I went to DC a few weeks ago, and I swear to God, every 5 minutes I see somebody carrying a bag from Trader Joe's. But then again, I shouldn't really be that surprised because $3.75. You can get this for $3.75 if you're in the US. And lastly, if I was to pick up a fashionable tote, I'd go for the one by Alex Mill. It's the one called the Perfect Weekend Tote. It's kind of expensive. It goes for about 195 bucks. You can get the smaller one called the Perfect Weekday Tote for 175, so 20 bucks less. But yeah, I'd probably forego the ones from, say, APC or other fashionable brands and just go for the Alex Mill one. Looks really well made, looks like a solid tote. So I do have a few conventional bags that I could recommend that's in my collection. First one up is the Chrome Messenger bag. Now, I think some of you have probably seen this. It's fairly popular amongst kind of like bike messengers, but I got this one for really cheap. I think I got this in the same sale that I got the Chrome tote from. And this one, I think I got for less than 100 bucks. So it's made really well, really quality build. It's got that signature seatbelt buckle for the straps. It's also got some really good organization provided for you to kind of like, organize your things. But yeah, it's just a really well-made bag. Now for backpacks, usually when I go for a backpack, it has to be something that could be used as a carry-on and could fit underneath an airplane seat. That's kind of like where this TomTalk 40-liter backpack comes in. This one I love because there's so many ways that you could store things and organize things in it. It's got padding for your laptop and tablet or whatnot. But yeah, the most important thing for me is that it could carry a bunch of your stuff and still fit underneath an airplane seat. So now the last one in my list is probably one of the ones that I used the most in my day-to-day. And it's the Chrome Cadet Sling Bag. This one I've had for about 4 to 5 years. Nowadays, I use it as a gym bag. I ride a one-wheel around, so I don't have to drive my car and fight for parking, especially going to the gym. So this comes in really handy. I feel secure using this bag and have it strapped on me. I feel like if I'm gonna crash, I guess, this one would hold up. But yeah, really solid bag. I'll link it down below. So those are the bags that I have currently in my rotation. Hopefully this video has kind of like nudged you into considering using bags more into your day-to-day life. Honestly, not having things in my pocket has been a game changer I think I enjoy walking more now that I don't have things rattling around in my pockets. When I do use my pockets, I use it to kind of like hold things temporarily, say if I'm paying at a cash register. Otherwise, that item goes back into the bag that I'm using. But hopefully this video has been valuable to you. If so, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Guys, are you still stuffing your pants?